I'm a big fan of art books, and this Devil May Cry book is the very first art book that I ever got. I bought this in 2001, and so at the time, this book was pretty new. It was also really hard to find because at this point the game had just come out and not that many people knew about it. So I thought I'd go through and talk about my Devil May Cry art books. So I have this one, and I also have this one, which is a reprint of the first book. The only difference is a bit of layout change and some Devil May Cry 4 game editions, or more like a teaser since the game wouldn't be out for a little while yet. And so, I thought I'd go through and show a bit of what's inside. So, there are many character sketches which drew me to this book in the first place. I think I had a one-page preview, and that was all I had in terms of being able to see what was inside the book. Background settings, which I really liked in the game, and having an art book was a real delight because I could actually see these settings and not be killed along the way. Very cool weapon designs. Have enemies here. And those orbs. Funky design. Yes, this was a advertisement for the game, which is not in the reprinted version, sadly or not, depending on if you like that sort of thing. Interviews. Some guest sketches. Storyboard layouts. Wow, that is a lot of red. Promotional items. And some CG work. And this book came with a poster, which obviously I have not taken out yet. And so here's the reprinted version. This reprint came out in 2006. So, quite a number of years after the first. There's essentially no change except for a couple border changes and the Devil May Cry 4 edition. Oh, and a few new pictures, but it's maybe like 2 or 3. This again. Credits that are easier to read this time around. Not red on black, but white on black. Scripts are laid out a little differently. No blazing red here. This book is interesting because it has the a bit of a font change, which doesn't seem like much, but it really does add an updated version to the book. And here's the Devil May Cry 4 preview. I didn't get any for Devil May Cry 2, though there were a few guides out. They didn't interest me that much. This one's called Note of Not. This one was a pretty big disappointment for me, since I expected more sketches such as this, which really attracted me to the actual art when the third game came out. But this book actually is consisted of CG art and character renders, which, while pretty, they aren't quite the same as seeing hand sketches or possibly computer tablet drawings. But this is the closest to an art book as I could find for Devil May Cry 3. So I figured, well, I might as well get it. So, big section on enemies, since Devil May Cry 3 had loads and loads and loads of them. Always nice to know what names belong to what characters, just because I can always say, oh, I hate these Fallens, which, on the harder difficulties, yeah, but painful. Ooh, Cerberus. Yep. I remember playing Devil May Cry 3, and since Cerberus is the first major boss that comes up in the game, I remember thinking, oh, if I ever get past this boss, I'm home free. But little did I know there would be more and more crazy bosses coming up. And then Naveen came along. Wow, fighting her took quite a few tries, but actually turned out to be one of the most fun fights once I got used to seeing the patterns and whatnot. So here are a few more sketches, which I wish the art book had more of, but that'll have to do. Yes, a bit of Shin Megami Tensei influence, since the designer decided to come on board and create character designs. Interesting look, I must say. Not quite my favorite, but takes some getting used to. Here are the secret numbers that show up during the cutscenes. Sort of like a guide. 2 views. Boy, I wish I could read this. Wow, English people. These are the voice and motion capture for the game. It's too bad this isn't written in English either. Maybe there's a translation online somewhere. This book includes the script of all the cutscenes that appear in the game. So if there's some sort of line that I'm looking for, I can always come back here. And funny enough, it's all written in English. Or there's translations in English, which is pretty handy. Page and page of scripts. Oh, and the scripts and the book. And we follow that up with one last art book. Most recent one so far is Devil May Cry 4. And so I wasn't really sure what to expect when I saw this art book. Sort of leery after seeing the third one, but this renewed my confidence because it has everything that I wanted, which was a mix of CG and a lot more sketched and artwork. Quite funny when I compare this to the first Devil May Cry art book. character models are just so pretty and shiny, and lighting is also very well done as well. Yep. Of course, the great thing about these kind of art books is just seeing all the concept designs. And because Devil May Cry is all about being stylish, it's sort of like flipping through a fashion book in a way, because there's a lot of outfit changes that were made during the creation process. And so for Nero, you can see here that there's just a whole boatload of different outfits that well, were considered, and you could have had a scarf right here, but probably would have been hard to render in-game. Here's his devil arm variations. Wow. Weapons. Kyrie also came up with a lot of design. Wow, lots of design choices too. Wonder how Credo would have been like with a ponytail. Well, of course, we have someone here who takes that. So yes, you can see here there's just a lot more sketches compared to the previous book. Ah, yes. Sanctus. Evil, evil Manu. Here we are heading towards the usual cast of Devil May Cry characters. Back with Dante. Very cool facial expression page. Weapons, which also look all polished and refined compared to previous books. It's pretty amazing to see the differences when it comes to the hardware and of the PS3, and just all the polygons you could stick into a computer model to make it look so realistic. Here we are with the ladies. And the enemies. And a few enemies that did not make it to the game. Ooh, Burial's quite the fun boss. Made me really like the graphics engine once I saw all the fire and wind effects. Here we are with the surroundings and the backgrounds of the game. And the book ends with a nice little picture here. And so that is the end of this Devil May Cry fest of art books. I hope you enjoyed it.